Do you remember the first time you voted in a presidential election? I do vividly. It was 1972, and the race was between George McGovern and Richard Nixon. Times were tense, the Vietnam War was raging and students were protesting loudly. I was 20 years old and voting gave my generation a say in ending the outrageous war. Those times demanded that our voices be recognized. In 1971, the 26th Amendment to the United States Constitution was adopted, allowing those 18 years or older the right to vote. This was due in large part because it was men 18 years and older who were drafted to fight in this war. The cry "old enough to die, but not old enough to vote" clearly resonated and had the appropriate effect. It took just over a year for the amendment to pass both houses of Congress and become ratified. Some 51 years earlier, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution had become the law of the land, giving women the long-awaited and much-denied right to vote. First proposed in Congress in 1878, the amendment was not ratified until August 18, 1920. It had taken over 40 years and countless hours of undying effort by many, primarily women, to become law. 2020 marked the centennial of women's suffrage, and to quote an old cliché, "We've come a long way, baby." But have we come far enough? Honestly, we've had the vote for 100 years now, and the question must be asked, have we done enough with it? Women are still a minority sex as viewed and treated by many, with no definitive laws to protect equality with men. Here are a few of the most glaring out points. Women still strive for pay parity. On average, women in the US are paid 18% less than men. It's even worse for Black women and Latinas, who are paid 38% and 45% less than white men on average. Women currently hold 24 of the 100 seats in the United States Senate, 24% of the total. As of June 14, 2021, there are 119 women in the U.S. House of Representatives, not counting 4 female non-voting delegates, making women 27.4% of the total of U.S. representatives. Yet, women constitute 50.8% of the U.S. population. Women continue to make strides against sexual harassment in the workplace and elsewhere, with the #MeToo and #TimesUp movements making an impact, but the problem continues. Shortly after the 19th Amendment's adoption, suffragist Alice Paul and the National Woman's Party began work on the Equal Rights Amendment, which they believed a necessary additional step to ensure equality. It was written in 1921, and in Section 1 of the amendment states simply that equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex. The ERA was introduced in Congress every session since 1923 and was finally passed by both houses in 1972. It was not, however, ratified by the necessary 38 states by the July 1982 deadline set by Congress. It should be noted that in the 92nd Congress, 1972 to 1973, there were only 13 female members of the House of Representatives and 2 female senators. Please support us by subscribing to the channel and pressing the bell icon. Fortunately, and with great determination and hope, the cause would not die. In 2017, Nevada ratified the amendment. In 2018, Illinois followed suit, and just this past January, Virginia became the 38th state to confirm its approval. As of this writing, it's now up to both houses of Congress to vote to overturn the original deadline. The House of Representatives has already done so. We're waiting on the Senate, and make the Equal Rights Amendment part of the U.S. Constitution. What does this all mean for women? Passing the ERA would give men and women equal status and equal rights under the law. In the words of Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, that's big. Huge. It won't automatically make more women members of Congress, but it will ensure that legally we will have a leg to stand on, whether we choose stilettos or tennis shoes. It will go a long way to changing the rules of the game economically by ensuring the gender pay gap is narrowed until it no longer exists. It may not eliminate sexual harassment in one fell swoop, but it could stop it in its tracks. What will it take to become truly equal? It will take women being interested in causing their future, being truly determined to better their lives economically, socially, and legally. These times, like those in 1971, demand that our voices be heard and recognized. And, more than just being heard and wanting change, it will take action on our parts to change the mores that have for so long governed how we are seen and treated and live our lives. We've had the vote for 100 years. Have we done enough with it? Not really, not yet. But if we engage and participate, permanent change is in the wind. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.